Hi, it's your math teacher. I know that's very exciting. It's very good to see you today. Okay, so what I thought I would start off with is just a little bit of review, so that we can get all the cobwebs out and start on a good track. So first of all, I want to go back to section 1. Section 1 was talking about all of our vocabulary words that are actually English words, but they're used in math mostly. So one of the words that I want you to know is the word sum. Sum means what? Exactly, it means to add. The word product, times, and the word of. They all mean the same thing. Product, times, and of. What do they mean? Woohoo! That's right. Times. Quotient, divide. Does anybody know what quotient and divide means? Raise your hand. Exactly. It means to divide. And then, of course, the word is means equals. And the word difference and subtract mean the same thing too. It means to subtract. Then we have the tricky ones, the ones that are subtract from. That word from on the end makes it different. Decreased by and less than. All of those mean you're going to subtract from something. So if I said, for instance, 10 less than X, that means to subtract 10. Subtract 10 from what? From X. So it changes the order. If I said 3 subtract 8, or let's say 8 subtract 3, you would just write 8 subtract 3, 8 minus 3, that's fine. But less than, subtract from, and decreased by are going to change the order. So if I said T subtracted from, T subtracted from, that's my bird if you hear him, isn't he cute? He's really cute, trust me on this. T subtracted from P, it means subtract T from P. So it's going to change the order. And really, the addition ones do the same thing. More than, if I said 10 more than X, that really means X plus 10. You're supposed to add 10 to something. Addition, you don't have to be as concerned about because 10 plus 5 and 5 plus 10 is the same thing. Subtract is crucial that you don't mess with that. So the word subtract from, decreased, and less than, they all mean to change the order, and really so does more than and increased by. Okay, so hopefully that will help you when we're working on these. Okay, so the next thing I want to review with you is these. So if you have an expression like this that has all these variables in there, and they tell you what the variable is, and they want you to evaluate or to simplify it, you all know that that means to go ahead and put this 3 in all of the y spots. So go ahead and write this problem down and work this with me. 3 parentheses 2y plus 4 minus y parentheses 3y minus 7. And instead of putting y's, we're going to put 3 in those places. Remember, if there's a number and a letter side by side with nothing in between, it's an understood what? That's right. It means times. Same thing here. The 3 in the parenthesis, there's not a symbol in between. There's no plus sign, there's no minus, so it's understood to be what? Times. That's right. So let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and put your 3's in all those y spots, and I'll do it too. And I'm going to give you a couple extra seconds because I know you're slower than me. All right. So I went ahead and put all of the 3's in the y spots, and it should look like this. Now, once it looks like this, we're back to order of operations. And order of operations says you're supposed to do parentheses first. All right. Within the parentheses, we have multiply. And multiply always happens before add and subtract. So go ahead and do multiply, and then in this one add 4, and in this one subtract 7. Do that now. All right, so when I did that, I got 6 plus 4 in this one, which is 10. And in this one, I got 9 subtract 7, which is 2. All right, next, you can either leave it just the way it is. Just the way it is, it means 3 times 10 minus 3 times 5. But if you think that's confusing, drop your parentheses and just put a times in between. Now, remember, subtract comes last in order of operations. So make sure you multiply here and here, and then subtract last. Go ahead and get your answer. I'm going to show you. If you got 24, give yourself a pat on the back. Let's try one more, because 30 minus 6 is 24. Let's do one more. Go ahead and write this one down now. 2x over 6 minus x plus 6 over 9 plus 3x. And I want us to evaluate this if x equals 12. So our first step is to go through, and everywhere you see an x, you're going to put a 12 in. So go ahead and put a 12 in all of your x spots, which is your variable, by the way. All right, so go ahead and do that. Once you do that, since we have fractions here where division is going to be our next step, we have to simplify the tops. So go ahead and simplify the tops of your fractions, and if you want to, you can go over here and do this multiply. All right, stay away from your add and subtracts here. You have to do them on the tops of these fractions, though, so do that first. All right, this is what it looks like. I got 24 over 2, 18 over 9, and 36, because 3 times 12 is 36. Next, do your division. So go ahead and divide this and this, please. 24 divided by 6. 8 divided by 9. And leave your subtracts and adds for last. So now I'm going to do 4 take away 2 plus 36. 4 take away 2 is 2. 2 plus 36 is what? Woohoo! 38. Isn't this fun? Okay, very good. So 38 is the answer there. So the last topic that I want to review, hopefully that got the cobwebs out of section 1 and section 2. In section 3, we learned the difference between a coefficient and a variable. So a coefficient is the number in front of a variable. And we also learned how to put together some algebraic expressions with like terms. We learned that 5k's plus 1 more k makes 6 of them. 6k. We learned that 3m's take away 1m. There's always an understood 1 if there's no coefficient at all. 3m take away 1 is 2 of them. 2m's. All right? Where we have to be careful is when we're mixing like terms with unlike terms, like in this one. In this one, I have some m's, and I have some things that don't have m's. You have to keep them separate, okay? So 8m and 2m does make 10m's, and 6 take away 1 is 5. Now this 5 doesn't have any m's at all, so we can't do anything with that. They're totally separate. 10 m's and 5 more, okay? The next one, I've done a longer one. Be careful when you start seeing subtract signs. This subtract sign right here belongs to the 4, so keep that in mind. So really what this means is 5x subtract 4x's and 7 plus 2. 5x subtract 4x and 7 plus 2. So the answer to this would be 1x plus 9. You can actually put the 1 in front of this x if you want to, but you don't have to. 5x subtract 4x's is 1x left over. 7 plus 2 is 9. There's no x's on the 9, so this is done. All right, the next one, I added all kinds of numbers. We're going to be very careful that we put the right things together. So this is a 10x and a subtract 2x. This is a 5y and a subtract 4y. And the only thing I have left is that add 6. That doesn't have any x's, it doesn't have any y's. So now 10x's, take away 2 of them, makes 8 of those guys. 5y's, take away 4 of those, gives me just 1 of those guys. And then we have to add 6. It has no x's, no y's, it's totally separate. Make sense? Great. I'm going to give you some practice problems with these that I want you to try before tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you're enjoying your time away, even if it's not with me. Bye.